This is Damian.
It's easier, isn't it?
Yeah, good, thank you. Right. Yeah, I'll see if I can get a message out. I'm about to jump on a live stream, so I'll flick a message. No, that's okay. Yeah. No worries. Cheers. Bye.
It's not bad.
Do we know if we're connected, I guess?
Yeah, I'm just double checking, but it looks fine. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Everything's honestly Charlie know that we're on.
How do I get that up, Dan? Does that come up a bit higher or not?
That's it.
Oh, beauty, thank you. 1, 2. I'm just going to call where?
What's
Are
that?
you calling from there or are you calling from...
I'll try a call from the ground.
Should have brought my binoculars.
Halfway. Do you have a number for Charlie?
Yeah.
I might just call him.
send him a text. It's normally pretty quick. Give me a call, and it's-
Yeah, just if when to go live, it'd be good to know.
It'd be good to know how many who's come out because I saw Willis kicking balls in. And I just saw Pepin's parents on the way out.
So that future. Yeah.
in the background. Yeah, can you hear things?
So you're doing 2 streams now,
All
mate?
right.
You're doing one
I've
at
got
all
one.
3 today.
That's good. Just talking to the Hawks on my way down here. Yeah.
Good. Yep. Say 5-2, 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, I'll send it over. Cool. Cheers, mate. All good.
Brilliant. Thanks, Simon. How you going? Little band set up here. Out in the elements, love it there. Welcome to Twin Ovals for Booper TSL Round 2 action. It is our first look at the Kingborough Tigers as they host North Hobart. I'm Damian Gill, bringing this one live to you. Alongside me is Cam Brown.
Yeah, good afternoon, Damo. Really looking forward to this one today. As we mentioned, the Tigers' first game for them for 2020 had the bye last week. And North Hobart, they're in that game for a long time. Damo last week against North Launceston, they came home pretty hard. I thought they started really well in the first quarter, unable to probably get it on the scoreboard. But they come in with a bit of confidence, I would have thought, in this game today.
Yeah, they absolutely do. They came home with a wet sail in that one, as you said, Cam. Really good last term and would have provided a bit of a scare for North Launceston, to be honest. They look good, as you said, North Hobart. We haven't had a look at the Tigers yet this year. What do you expect from Kingborough?
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing them, and in particular, a couple of the recruits have come in new to the team, which will be really interesting to see how they hold up. But I think from last season, Damo, the first time they made the finals, which was terrific for them at a club level. But we know a shortened season, and obviously to make the finals this year, it's a Final Four, isn't it? So they're going to have to step up, and an opportunity today, first game of the season for them on their home ground.
Looks like a few late changes for North Hobart. I can just see Sean Willis over there in the tracksuit. And the helmeted Angus Norton looks like he's come into the lineup, and maybe Tyler McGuinness, who was meant to be an inclusion, doesn't look like he's going to take his spot, and it looks like it's Nick Lee back into the setup. Yeah,
Nick Lee definitely out there for North Hobart. So a couple of late changes to them, but having said that, they get their opportunity. A bit of spice in this one too. Damo, of course, a number of former North Hobart players, again, running around for the Tigers. So they've got a bit of a rivalry, these two clubs developing.
Yeah, they do indeed. Yeah, of course, it was a couple of years ago now. It was a large chunk of what were, at that point, the Hobart City Demons went across to the Tigers, and there's been a bit of bad blood ever since, and it's built a pretty good rivalry and some close games. And, of course, last year, Cole Garland turned it on and got North Hobart one of their few wins down here at the Twins.
What do you think today, as we see both teams just in their final huddles? The Tigers in a larger circle at the moment, but Will Campbell hasn't played a lot of footy for the last 12 months, but great to see him back.
As I nearly knock over my microphone. Fantastic to see Will Campbell back into the setup. A quality player before he got injured. Really solid on-baller, and that's probably a strength of the Tigers, isn't it? Their on-ball brigade is really well equipped, led, of course, by Kieran Lovell. One I'm interested to see have a good run at TSL level is Lockie Godomski. Of course, played a lot of rep footy in recent years and played for the Devils in the NAB League, but now will be playing straight in the TSL full-time, and it'd be good to see him settle down in that defence and be a real leader for the Tigers. At
his best, he's a really nice run and carry. He's had some trouble with injuries, but going back a couple of seasons, I remember he played, I think, an under-17 All-Stars game, AFL All-Star game, and played really well. Probably didn't work out as well as he'd liked at his Devils years, but he gets an opportunity today.
Does indeed. Just trying a couple of the numbers. I've looked straight at number 19. I can't see it on my page. I don't know about you. It might be Sam Wright, the one up the top. So we're into the middle, and we're not far away at all from getting round 2 underway. Bringing you this live stream. If you're interested in the other 2 games that are going on, they're also being streamed at this point. Umpire does his bit. And we're underway. Coming through as a whistle, so that'll start again. It's going to go the way of the Tigers. So Will Campbell wastes no time to get his first touch. A big booming boot, long and strong. Fisted down. Coming through underneath that was McCulloch, and he's going to get a free kick.
Thought he's pretty solid last week, McCulloch, for the Demons, the skipper. He's got peppered in short. Nice start for Baxter Norton too. Early touch. It's a good ball movement from North Hobart, Damo. Sam Collins involved again. Steele, who was pretty good early last week for North Hobart, looked their most dangerous forward, I thought, in the early stages.
That's a good defensive grab there by the Tigers. They'll move it out. It was Drew kicking in the direction of Davies. Davies now didn't come off his boot as he would have liked. Bursting through. It was a good tackle applied on the North Hobart player there. Again, I don't have that number on my sheet. Makes it difficult. It's Michael Fisher as it brings the handball back. Kick inside 50 from McCulloch. Cut off on hands. Slips through Godomski's fingers. I think it's Godomski. Will Campbell has the ball blocked off his boot. It wobbles around. The Tigers make it out through Lovell. Kicks over the top to Rice. So Rice steadies down the wing. Looking for an option. Slips through fingers. Moved really swiftly by Watt. Finds a target upfield. Wastes little time. It was Sam Duggan and puts it off to left. A minor score, the first of the day.
Much improved player, Sam Duggan. Probably had a little bit more time on that occasion. Ex-North Hobart player.
Yeah, so one of a few in this side is it's on the outer side of the ground and trickles out. So
Jack Sandrick, the target there on the kick out. Thought he's really good last week. Almost a bonus for North Hobart, Damo. Obviously with COVID and played some footy last year in the VFL. So to get him back this year is a bonus. One of their better players last week.
So down off hands. It was Allen doing the ruck work. Tigers use it through a web of handballs. Kick inside 50 now. Slipping through fingers. Williams should mop up. Handball's out in front of himself. Coming to track it down. It was good stuff there now with Bailey Gordon, who is tackled over the boundary, and they're into it, Cam. We said they don't like each other. Bit of that on show right now.
Good defensive pressure there from Paddy Walker.
So here it comes again. They fight for it on the ground level. McCulloch squeezes out a kick. A bouncing ball for Reeves. Slips by him. They should mop up here, the Tigers. It's Blake McCulloch. Fires out a handball. Comes back nicely through Duggan. It's forced over the line, but it's going to be a free kick the way of Lovell. So Lovell now switches into the middle. Davies lays claim to it. Couldn't quite complete the grab, but running through with real poise was Burrows Ching, just offline.
It was an attacking kick, wasn't it, on that occasion from Kieran Lovell? Just open up the fat side of the ground.
So onto the outer side, it's Collins who squeezes out a kick, but went out of play, so it'll be Davies to bring it back in. Kick centrally to Campbell. As we said, missed a lot of footy through injury. Great to see him back out there. Long high kick. Pack forms. The big man Allen forces it out, and it'll be a throw-in, attacking 50 for the Tigers.
Both teams feeling each other out this early stage, just 5 minutes into the first quarter. Kingborough with a couple of inside 50s. North Hobart haven't been able to get it past their forward of centre too much.
So down off hands, comes out the side. They squeeze out a kick. I think it was Burrows Ching again, and forced out again. So the North Hobart defence being tested here, Cam.
I think that's one of their strengths for mine, North Hobart. That back half really solidified by both Williams. Collins as a half-back.
So a shallow throw-in. Allen drops it down. It's a good tackle applied by Will Campbell. Cries for holding the ball.
If there is some upside, Damo, for North Hobart, I think it's in that forward half of the ground. I think that will be the challenge for them this season, to try and find some goal kickers. Free kick out of the ruck, going to Allen.
So big Hamish Allen drops it off to McCulloch, who steers a ball to Charlton, who takes it sliding through. He goes with an attacking, driving ball right into the middle. It's cut off by Lovell. He'll put it deep. Looking for a target. There's a good kick. Almost completed the grab there. And then it fell to ground level, Cam, and I missed it. I was looking at my sheet. Run us through.
27.
It was Luke Graham.
Well, that's what he can do, Luke Graham, isn't it? We've seen him kick multiple goals, and it was an attacking kick on that occasion for North Hobart. Unfortunately, I think it was Charlton from memory. He might have been looking for Sandrick and cut off by Lovell, who then a long, deep entry, and it was a good one-on-one contest, and then a nice crumb. Good start for the Tigers. But that's his role, Luke Graham, and he does it very well.
Team of the year a couple of years ago, Luke Graham probably had a quieter season last year, but that's a good start to proceedings in 2020. As Allen wins a ruck tap.
The free kick to Sandrick.
It's going to be Sandrick's ball, as you say, Cam. Wearing the long sleeves. Drives out looking for Menzie. Good mark from the youngster. Kicked a couple in that last quarter run last week.
Yeah, I like Jai Menzie inside that forward 50.
He finds Charlton. Charlton now long and strong, looking for Steele, who arrives, gets it down to the runners. That's a brilliant crumb and goal. That is lovely stuff from North Hobart.
Might have been Cunliffe, was it?
It was Troy Cunliffe, finished off nicely.
Well, that's bread and butter crumbing. He's in the perfect spot. And a smart finish. The modern day player makes that look pretty easy, but hard up against the boundary line. Well done. A nice early touch for Jai Menzie. Kicked a couple of late goals last week for North Hobart. And I think he's going to be a really exciting player this season for them. Certainly early on in some of the match simulations, he's playing a bit higher up on the wing. But it looks like they've got him deep today. Really like him down there.
So back in the middle again. You think that one would be recalled. It wasn't. Steele put it straight down to a runner. Driving ball inside 50 now. Collins just waits over it. He'll claim it now. Kicks. Looking for Jeff Fisher. Skittles by him. Picked up by Lee. It's off to Fisher, who provides a bit of dash in this North Hobart setup. He's run out of time there though, Cam. Closed down by Reardon.
Yeah, bad luck. Kicked the goal last week on debut. Jeffy Fisher from Dosa.
Long and strong the kick goes, and there was no one there to fly for the Tigers, and it's Oysters Kilpatrick back there. Finds Collins. He can find Norton. The Guts variety. Or good bit of defensive work there by Bailey Gordon to block it with a smother and keep it inside forward 50 for the Tigers.
Yeah, well, he's keen to move it along, I think, to Lee down the line, but maybe could have pushed back off his mark. Well guarded, though. Tigers get an opportunity inside their forward 50. Lovell a danger man in these situations when he's on the move.
You're dead right as it comes in. Steele, handy ruck work. Bailey Walker almost. Yates eyes it off. He's claimed in a tackle. Comes out the side. Gathered by Steele. Decent work in traffic. Rice now. Almost for Burrows Cheng. He gets his handball out. Sandrick nearly claimed in a tackle. Hands off now, and they're
well done.
Out of trouble, North Hobart. The relieving kick from Norton finding Steele.
Yeah, that was good. Didn't panic. Lowered his eyes.
So Steele now. There's a lot to like about. Oh, that is a magnificent grab. What an absolute cracker that is,
That's
Cam
what he
Brown.
can do,
Elijah Reardon goes head surfing.
That's worth another look. That was an outstanding mark.
That was unbelievable. Was kicked long and strong. Picked up by Patrick Walker. Jeez,
that's what he can do, Reardon. And we've seen him play representative footy. Was it last year, Damo, for the TSL? It might have been the year before, but he's a talent, isn't he? And they're playing in the back half today. Has played a lot forward.
So they move it inside 50 now, the Tigers,
That's
and they've got another one, and it's Luke Graham again. All too a little bit easy there, Cam.
Yeah, he just got over the back. He's got really smart forward craft, and that's exactly what you want from a small forward, just getting into those dangerous spots. and it was kicked over the back, and he reacted quickly. Gee, a terrific start for him. 2 goals inside 10 or 11 minutes in the opening first quarter. Entertaining start here at the Twin Ovals, Damo. 8-point lead early for the home side.
Yeah, fantastic footy, isn't it? Geez, I'm still just reliving that read and grab.
It's an extraordinary mark. We had a perfect view here.
Yeah, we couldn't have had a better view for it. We don't have a great view for much here, I'll be honest, but it was good for that as Sandricks claimed in a good tackle.
And for his reward, he's rotated off the ground after that mark.
It's always a quirk of the game, isn't it? Do something good and off you come.
Tigers probably just outworking them at the moment in the contest in these situations.
Good body pressure applied there as Lovell somehow came out with it. That was really good stuff. Driving ball inside 50 now. Looking for Tyler Carter off his fingers. It's Luke Graham again, I think. And he got the shot out and he hit the woodwork.
Lovell looking dangerous already.
As is Luke Graham, Cam. That could have been his third very, very easily as Collins drives from full back. Allen caught behind. Squeezed out a handball. They keep it moving, North Hobart. A web of handballs. Charlton now off to Cunliffe. Back to Charlton. Cunliffe just kicks over the top for the run of Patrick Walker, I think it is, out there.
Yep.
He puts it out to use a bit of his toe. Claimed a tackle. Falls from his fingers and out of play, but they've gained some valuable territory.
So North Hobart get an opportunity. Haven't had a lot of inside 50s here, so they'll be going to try and drive it through from this stoppage, I would have thought.
So there's a whistle
And
out
a
of
few
this
already
contest.
from the right contest.
It's going to the big man Gardner, I think. He drops it off. Different looking defensive setup for the Tigers. As you said, Reardon now in that setup as Godomski gathers, fires out a handball, finds Rice. He keeps it moving. Now it's back with Rice.
Well worked.
Driving ball. He's had a target free in Graham again. Seen away from him by Williams.
That's terrific by Williams. Just knew the moment to zone off. Playing on Cooper Sorty at the moment, I think.
So the ball to come in once more. Hamish Allen and Gardner. Allen down. It was fired out by Griggs. Picked up by Fisher of the Jeff variety. He kicks over the top. Big, strong grab. And they move it through hands to Charlton, who kicks long for Nick Lee. He needs to really work the ball from this pocket. All he can manufacture is a bouncing ball into the post.
There's a good mark from one of the late inclusions for North Hobart, Nathan Hardy. Played a bit of old scholar. He's been in North Hobart previously, played at Hobart.
He's a solid unit. This ball comes in again. Down off hands. Really good stuff in traffic by Godomski. It was stylish, and he puts this one high. It'll come down with snow on it.
Good mark.
Good grab by Sorty. Flowing locks. And he kicks for a contest. Tyler Carter flies through his fingers. Graham clever. Gets over the top. Guess who's found space? Lovell had just slipped from his fingers as he looked to break away. Gets the handball out. Charlton now shields the footy. They jump on top of him. Contest between Kilpatrick and Lovell. Lovell does well. In the end, he was up against 3 or 4 Ds and managed to keep the ball in.
It's good from Sorty. That's what they'll be looking for, just to provide a contest in the air. Nice mark.
Tyler Carter gets the ball out somehow as McCulloch manufactures a kick looking for Cunliffe. It's cut off by Godomski and then fired in by Griggs, long and high. Off hands, it's at ground level. They've been dangerous in these situations. Ball comes out. Lovell trying to pick it up. Paddled along. Now with Charlton, he's had a bit of it. Hardy, good below his knees. Does well. Takes a grab into the centre. Oh, he's missed the target. It could be costly. Davies. Well, must be something in the air because he does the exact same thing And it's long and strong off the boot of Sandrick, looking for Reeves. He flies in a pack of 3 Tigers and loses that one. So Drew had Griggs offering on his own on the wing. Opts to just kick long. Collins slips through his fingers. Kilpatrick this way, that away. Nice stuff. Finds Michael Fisher. Back for Kilpatrick. He's looking good.
Yeah, they're providing really good run off half back. It's this connectivity now in the forward half that's probably just letting North Hobart down a little bit at the moment. Walker a chance.
Does well there, Walker. Back over the top from Collins. He kicks long, but there's no one really there around half forward for North Hobart. And Tigers cut it off, and they have done that a bit so far today. It's now Will Campbell in space up against Michael Fisher. Good tackle applied. Oh, ping for holding the ping for in the back rather. So it'll be
it's a bit untidy footy. I don't want to be too hard on the players because there's a bit of heat on, but both teams with some skill errors in the last 3 or 4 minutes, just lacking a little bit of composure with the footy. Tigers have worked it well across half back though with Reardon.
Here he is, Reardon. Excitement machine over the top, finds Gordon. Gordon back for Reardon, shows some dash. Kicks now inside 50, doesn't quite get there. Cut off by Collins. Now with Yates. Squeezes out a ball, looking for Sandrick. He will eventually gather and handballs it out of play.
He's had a couple of opportunities, hasn't he, Sam Collins, off half back. That's what he does so very well. He's read the play as that intercept marker. He's brave in the air. Really good reader of the play.
So in it comes, down off the fingertips of Hamish Allen. A really good tackle.
Good tackle, Will Pepin, I think.
Applied on young Clifford out there.
It's a bonus, isn't it, for, well, not just North Hobart, but a lot of the TSL teams out of, unfortunately, we know with COVID, no NAB League Damo, but the bonus for the clubs is they've got these boys on a full-time basis this season.
They do indeed, as tackle is applied on Rice, and it'll be rinse and repeat on that far side. No, it is, I mean, they're players in very similar position to them in Vic Metro that probably won't get to play too much footy, for, or at least for the next little while. As it's gathered on that far side by Clifford. Over the top via hands by Davies.
It's a great tackle.
Campbell, who looked to jink past a couple. He's claiming a good tackle, as you said, Cam, and it probably should have been rewarded.
No, that was holding the ball for mine. I think it might have been the big fella that Bear Robertson be wrapped with the effort there, I think, from Hamish Allen, who laid the tackle.
So in it comes again. Down off Allen's hands, squeezes out the side, just shielding the ball. Was a Tiger there.
This is the other thing to watch too, Damo. Shorter quarters, isn't it? We're about to tick into the 20-minute mark, but just the 3 goals scored, so may catch up on us. The quarter-time siren.
And it comes again. Down off Allen's hands. Skills out the side. Driving ball from Fisher. It was a good fly by Steele. Couldn't quite complete the transaction. And now just scrimmage for it at ground level.
He's growing in confidence, Jake Steele, the more he plays at this level. We've seen him a lot at underage state teams. As I mentioned, he was pretty lively early last week for North Hobart. Free kick again out of the ruck, and it's a 50-metre penalty.
That hurts, Camp. So who's deep at this occasion? It looks like the target will be Gardner, as it's Sorty with the footy. Might just fancy himself here.
He's right on it, I would have thought. North Hobart have got numbers back. Lee in the hole, McCulloch's there, so he will go long.
From the paint of 50, he drives it long. The pack forms. Gardner's there for Tigers. It's off hands and nicely claimed by Collins. Squeezes out a kick. He's got Pepin there. He is crunched in a tackle and will be thrown in.
Actually, a feature of the game's been the tackling from both teams.
It's been fantastic, hasn't it? Really good pressure. As you said, the skill's just a little bit shaky to date. that last kick inside 50 in particular, as Allen drops it down to the floor. Sandrick battles in there with Griggs. Try and work it out here, North Hobart. Not pretty but effective to date as
good.
The handball comes out to Lovell. His delivery usually pretty good. Off hands, Graham trying to eye it off. It was Bailey Walker who knocked it away, and then Patrick Walker who kicked it outside 50. A fly again from Reardon. This time not quite as
He's
grand.
provided the highlight
That was
of the
unbelievable.
first quarter. Seen a couple of nice goals from Gordon and Cunliffe.
So the ball to be thrown in. We're 21 and change gone in this first quarter between Tigers and North Hobart. Patrick Walker gets a handball out. Charlton comes in and fights for the footy. It'll be held in.
Just sets himself up so very well, Kieran Lovell, doesn't he, in these situations in the stoppage. He doesn't go all the way in. Sets himself up as if it is loose or for a handball receive. Here he is.
So Lovell now had Charlton all over him. The kick comes out. It's picked up by Michael Fisher. He couldn't do much with it. Drew with a massive boot inside forward 50. Pack forms. At
Great
the front
mark,
of it is Collins. Read that better than anyone else. Here he goes, Collins. Driving ball to the outer side. They might be on here, North Hobart, if they can move it quickly.
Norton out.
It's over the top to Gus Norton. He gets moving, kicking for Lee. Got a couple of Tigers to contend with, and he's bested. That was really good stuff from Davies. Provided dash. He finds a player in the middle of the ground in Burrows Cheng, and the siren sounds on a pretty entertaining first quarter.
It was a 9-point lead for the Tigers. They'll probably take that, their first quarter for the 2020 season proper. It was on the back of a couple of goals from Gordon, their smart forward. He's done that for a career, hasn't he? Graham, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the two goals, I should say. And he does that so very well. Cunliffe with a highlight, and we mentioned Reardon, but a pretty tight contest, Damo. I think both half back lines are on top for mine, and it's been a bit of an arm wrestle in the middle of the ground, but I thought Griggs and Rice on a couple of occasions have been some really good pivotal plays for them off the half back line, and by the same token, McCulloch early. I thought Collins with some of his intercept marking has set up pretty well behind the ball, so the challenge will probably be for both teams just to get more out of their forays forward. Even that last one with Gus Norton, then had an opportunity potentially to just lower his eyes, but went along with the footy. So perhaps the messaging is just to have a little bit more poise, a little bit more composure with the footy. We saw probably late in that first quarter where both teams there was a high rate of turnovers. So when you've got your opportunity with ball in hand, you want to make hay, as they say. And but from the other side of it, I would have thought the defensive pressure from both teams has been really strong.
Yeah, it has indeed been, as we said, a little bit sloppy at times. But when they've had the fast break, it's been entertaining as well. It's a lot of the times, Cam, it's just that connection across half forward that's been lacking a little bit, particularly for North Hobart. And a bit of credit to the Tigers' defence in that regard. They've a new look defence. And I haven't minded what I've seen so far. The switch from Reardon into the back half is going to be one to watch.
Yeah, and it just frees it up for him at times, doesn't it? Because we know he's got some run and carry. He's got some wonderful athleticism. We saw that with that mark. But he also has got a penetrating kick. And that's where they look pretty dangerous for mine, the Tigers, when they did go long and direct. Both teams were trying to open up that fat side on different occasions and try and go through the corridor and be quite daring, which is the modern game these days. But yeah, a bit of an arm wrestle.
We'll have a brief break now, Brownie, and be back with the second term. Stay with us. So back for the second half. What do we expect here, Brownie?
Well, I think North Hobart looks like Hardy's starting deep at full forward, so a bit of a different look for the start of this quarter for them. Steele at centre-half forward.
So Gardner and Allen in the ruck.
A pretty good battle, actually, that one.
Up goes. Gardner down. It's claimed by Campbell. He went to break away but lost the footy. Gardner fires it out. Picked up by Michael Fisher. Socket along. A fight for. He's dived on the footy. He might have a problem here. No, says the umpire. So down off fingertips. Gathered by Griggs. A bouncing ball inside 50. Almost for Sorty. He gets it on the second attempt. Couldn't get his kick away. Coming in is Campbell. He's swung in a tackle. Spills out to Rice. He puts it high. And Walker comes back to take the grab. So Patrick Walker.
That's what he does well. Makes good decisions, normally by foot.
Over to Sandrick. And then Williams, who goes along and finds Menzie, the speedy Menzie. There's a short offering in Reeves. Ignores that, goes longer. Looking for Hardy. Good defensive grab by Drew.
Yeah, just outworked him, didn't he then? The kick, having said that, probably went a bit deeper than Hardy would have liked. Still a good contested mark.
So Drew, high and long, looking for Luke Graham. He flies, comes out the back to Kilpatrick. Been pretty good. Nudges a kick out, finds Steele.
That's a great
Off
kick.
hands, though, was the kick, apparently, says the umpire. Fired out by Allen. Time on the side of McCulloch. He finds Sandrick. This way, that away. Finds his skipper. Comes in. Hot footy to gather this one. Slipping through the ruckman's fingers. Gathered out the back by Drew. They're under the pump here. They're under siege, the Tigers, as Griggs looked to bound away and was caught.
Better start for North Hobart. A couple of inside 50s. Jai Menzie could be a danger in this situation.
So it's gathered out of the ruck, and Hardy just slapped it straight on the boot. And it's a goal from nothing. Good work from the big man.
Yeah, look, he was lively, I thought, in the first quarter. And he certainly put on a bit of size over the years, which certainly gives his team a bit of confidence around him. And that's what they'll be looking for, just a presence. So that was a real bonus goal, really, out of nothing, as you mentioned, Damo, for North Hobart. Almost back on level terms. And certainly started this quarter better. And they get the reward.
So in the middle of twin ovals, that's really sharp chance taken from Hardy. Straight out of the ruck, slapped on the boot, and has cut the margin to just 3 points. 2-3-15, plays 2 straight 12. Allen in the ruck wins this one. Follows up his work and shields it for Charlton. He just sends a long chaos ball inside forward 50, and Menzie pounces, puts it on the boot. Has it got the legs? Not quite.
So you normally back him to do that. He read that beautifully then, Jai Menzie.
Dangerous player. They've got a few of them. As Drew drives it outside 50, there's a whistle.
A conversation happening between the goal umpire and the field umpire. Is he?
Not sure what this would be, Cam.
It's a point. Yeah, Jai Menzie, Damo, we saw him particularly early last year for the Devils as a bottom-age player. Kicked multiple goals, including a winner after the siren in one infamous match. But he's a player to watch this season, no doubt about that.
So Drew long, really good grab by Gardner. So Gardner now has a few offering down the line. Pokey little ball for Davies. He takes it and is keen to get moving. Off for Gordon, runs into trouble. That's going to be holding the footy, you'd think.
It should have been, I reckon. I mean, that's
wow.
That's his modus operandi, Marcus Davies, to play on at all times, isn't it? Keep the ball moving. He backs himself with speed. But on that occasion, he probably needed to just hold up the footy, put his teammate under a bit of pressure.
So Allen just drops it down at the floor, and Lovell bursts through, finds Gordon, squeezes out a kick. Sorty to fly now. Over his head, Williams couldn't quite complete the grab, jumps on, becomes tackler. Could be a cry for holding the ball or in the back in that one, I think.
Love the way he just looked to switch straight away. Collins has got Pepin now.
So here is Pepin. What will he do from half back? A pokey little ball is not bad at all. Finds his target in McCulloch. Keen to keep it moving. Over the top. On the far side is Jai Menzie. So he looks long inside 50. They've got a couple of tools here and steals the main one. He flies, almost takes a grab. It was a really good approach. Did everything but hold it.
I just reckon that's one of the big improvements in his game. Just he's got some real confidence in his body now to jump up and attack it in the air. As you mentioned, Damo, didn't take the mark, but really good presence in the air.
So down through fingers, firing out. Just tapped on by Sandrick. Clever in the end. Reeves puts it inside 50. Norton was a bit undersized in the matchup. Sandrick now muscles out Campbell and fires it inside 50, but Drew leaves the foot race to the front
for North Hobart. He did well there, Sandrick. He's filled out, Damo, since we've last seen him.
Strong player. As pokey little ball from Drew was in between Reardon and Gordon. Gordon good enough to gather. Kicks long, looking for Dygan. He's muscled out of it. Lovell now just keeps it alive. Sockers along to Tyler Carter. He'll receive it back. Lovell, pokey ball inside. It's gathered by Graham.
Oh, they're out here.
They're out indeed. As Burrows Cheng gets a favourable bounce, steadies and finishes almost off. In the end, just kicks for Tyler Carter, who plays on and threads the needle.
Yeah, they worked that well, the Tigers, and a little bit of poise there from Burrows Cheng, and we know, Damo, how he plays with great endeavour. Sometimes the composure by the kickers an area of growth in his game, but I thought it was really smart on that occasion. He just steadied himself up, thought it nearly went through for a goal, but Carter, nice contested mark, play on, smart finish. It'd be a bit of a blow there for the Demons, because I thought the first 5 or 6 minutes they were probably on top. Once again, Lovell involved. So may need to put some work into him, the Demons. Easier said than done.
So up it goes again. Allen down. Pokey ball from Charlton. Over the top. I'll work it out. Reardon, nearly. Reeves now. A good tackle applied again. As we said, it's been a real feature of what's gone on today.
Caswell involved there from the centre clearance.
So thrown up. Allen down. There is Caswell. He paddles it out to Patrick Walker, who finds a runner in Norton. And it's punched clear.
Another one of those players back for North Hobart. Had a lot of the footy last week, Baxter Norton.
30 touches.
Looks more comfortable set up behind the footy for mine.
Comes in. Gardner down, but the opposing ruckman was the one that gathered it. It was Burrows Cheng who looked to bound away. He's claimed a really good Patrick Walker tackle. Two players that know each other well. So this quarter, 8 and 20 seconds old, as it's gathered by Michael Fisher. Kicks in, looking for Hardy. Another good grab by Drew.
Yeah, he's been really good. Some of his intercept marking.
So he shakes off Lee. Kicks long and high onto the wing. A packle form again. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to go the way of North Hobart.
He's hurt himself there, Hugh Williams, in that run, in that marking contest. He threw himself in the air for a defensive spoil. He's just coming off. We'll keep our eye on that one.
Yates shapes a kick inside 50, and guess who again, Cam?
Yeah, well, this is the issue at the moment for North Hobart. They just can't find a mark inside 50. They've had plenty of inside 50s this quarter.
So a low-flying ball is picked up on the outer side by Davies. He's kicking long, but it's all red and blue, and it's with Bailey Walker. He drops off to Kilpatrick. That was really nice stuff from Kilpatrick.
Good, that was brilliant.
What a kick. That is fantastic play. It's with Steele now. Oh, he leaves it hanging in the air for too long. And really well done by Campbell. First with the fist and then with the tackle. Caswell now might still make something of this for North Hobart. Davies had his arms chopped. Advantage paid, and it's with Griggs.
Gee, smart kick.
Finds Lovell. Lovell long, looking in the direction of Graham out there. He gets the crumb. He's caught high. No free kick coming.
Tell you what, the umpires have been consistent on not playing holding the ball, Damo, for both teams. We've probably thought there's been an opportunity for some free kicks to be paid for the defensive pressure and acts. Now, there's a free kick off the ball going to Sandrick. He's going to go wide to Pepin again. He's found a bit of space on a couple of occasions, Damo, on that outer back flank.
He just pokes over the top for Collins. Some quality young talent in both teams.
I actually think their back line is their strength for mine, North Hobart.
Steele flies from the back, and it was Ruckman Allen who was infringed. It's happened quite a bit. It's going to be 50.
Penalty, so this will be an opportunity for
might put the big fella in range. We saw him kick a couple.
Now, who's
for the
trying
Devils
to pinch
last
this
year?
at the moment? Will Pepin's trying to pinch a 50-metre penalty advantage, I think, and was hoping he could run in and kick the goal. Well, he's looking to give it off at one point to Sandrick, but he's going to go back and kick the goal. He's still fairly new to the game, isn't he?
Absolutely. Real raw talent. Sends it in, never really looked like it, unfortunately.
We just didn't have any momentum coming in there. As you mentioned, he's fairly new to footy still, Hamish Allen.
A rowing background. 3-3-21, 2-1, 13 is the score for those watching. I think we're having some troubles with the scoreboard.
Again, it sort of gets away from you, these quarters, Damo, but we're ticking into the 12-minute mark. Fairly low-scoring game at the moment. Good ruck work.
So it comes out the side. Socket into defensive 50 for the Tigers, and Lovell was really nice. Just glided through. Found Graham, who's looked dangerous today. Posts his kick towards Carter. He's beaten by Walker. Really good stuff. Gets it off for Kilpatrick. Back for Sandrick. And Sandrick finds a target. Pepin now there with Yates. He's a bit unsure what to do.
There was just wasteful.
All Tigers numbers up that wing, and he kicked it to them as Lovell with a handball receive. Gets it off. Dygan now fires out a handball. Griggs has his ball blocked, but it still finds its way inside 50. Sortie at ground level. Back for Lovell. Shakes off a couple. Lovell now inside 50. Great kick.
They're going to have to put some work into him, I would have thought, because a lot of their forays forward are coming off the back of Kieran Lovell. But you saw in that earlier play, he's always had that great step, hasn't he, just to get himself out of trouble. Some of his lateral movement, and he lowered his eyes there. And that's probably the difference at the moment. Just some of the ball use from the Tigers, just a little bit cleaner. They're a little bit more composed. And been able to spot up targets inside 50 North Hobart. Haven't been able to do that so far on a consistent basis. Yeah, good finish.
I think it's young George O'Neill. Might be. Has finished off. And the Tigers, well, they make most of their foray forward. And that really hurts from a North Hobart point of view.
Yeah, he's come across from Signet, hasn't he, George O'Neill? Duggan's the other one. So still some upside for the Tigers too, Damon. They'll get Mackenzie Willis back in a few weeks' time. But, terrific when we see other players from some of the lower tier competitions coming in and playing TSL footy. O'Neill. Jeff Fisher was another one last week for North Hobart. Kicked a goal on debut from Dosa.
So back in the middle again, and Lovell again fires out a handball. Patrick Walker does well at ground level. Off for the big man Hardy, claimed a good read and tackle. Going nowhere.
If you just joined us, 3 or 4 late outs for the Demons today.
So Hardy taps the ground level. Clifford almost. Squeezes out from Norton. There is Clifford. Gets it into the arms of Lovell and their trusty arms. Finds the most recent goal kicker on O'Neill. Butters up. Kicks long towards Sordy now. Through his fingers. Contest between Burrows, Cheng and Kilpatrick finds its way out.
He's a competitor, Huey Williams, isn't he? You can see why he's been a leader at this footy club for such a long time now. Just say discipline, does everything right. Team first approach in all his actions.
So in it comes via the arm of the Bev Show. It gets over the back. Clifford did well, read it better than anyone, but probably should have been ping following the ball. Lovell, meanwhile, picks it up, gathers and fires just offline.
Once again, we saw that step that he's got, that little balk. It's been with him through his whole career. He's looked dangerous today.
It's been superb, Camp, as it comes out from full back off the boot of McCulloch. Gardner almost. Out the back, Watt fires out a handball. It's a free kick. It's going to go the way of Watt, I think.
Yeah, just wonder what you do here with Lovell from a North Hobart perspective. You lock down a Caswell maybe to run with him.
So Watt inside 50, off hands gathered by Caswell. Kilpatrick squeezes out a kick. Cunliffe flies for it, and a mark claimed by the Tigers. It was Duggan, the new boy you spoke of.
Yeah, so a couple of boys out of the Huon region from Cygnet coming across. It's a 15-point lead. It's handy in this situation. So it was just the worry for mine coming into the game, Damo, the forward half. That's the area of growth for mine for North Hobart.
As it comes in, Hardy down, really good crumb by Cunliffe. He gets it off and finds Williams, and they'll get out here, North Hobart, from Charlton. It's a good mark taken by young Menzie. Cries for 50. I think they're going to get it. He's signalled the other way, so it's going to go the way of Gordon. So a reversal.
And North Hobart have got numbers back here. Sandrick in the hole.
So Gordon high, long to the numbers. Bailey Walker sees it out.
Yeah, they're pressing here. Dangerous period of the game for North Hobart. 15-point lead coming into time on in the second quarter. They would not want to cough one up here.
So 4-4-28 plays 2-1-13. Another goal would make things really tricky as Tyler Carter takes it straight out of the ruck, but cut off by Bailey Walker.
Improved player too, Bailey Walker.
He's had some big jobs over the years, hasn't he? So they kick long, looking for Yates. Nearly took the grab. At ground level, it was Michael Fisher. Off from Norton, then Lee. Measures his kick. Wasn't fantastic, but Paddy Walker made it look okay. Long kick in the direction of Reeves. He's not in the right position to take the grab.
Can't quite get into it, Reeves.
As Davies kicks a searching ball for Gordon.
These North Hobart are out the back if they can get it.
They couldn't quite, Camp. As it's gathered by the Tigers out there. It was Ben Donnelly. He fights for the footy now as North Hobart win it back. Here is Reeves, and that probably is summing up his day at the moment.
Yeah, he just can't get into it. The there's quite a few. I was going to say the ex-Hutchins schoolboy.
So it's down off hands, gathered by Cunliffe. He drives in, and it was Steele just on his own. He outworked his opponent, got some good space and made use of it.
What I like from the North Hobart coaching staff is they're giving this guy a chance in a position. We've seen him a lot as a utility almost, Damo. He's played back, he's played in the ruck, played forward, particularly in his Devils and underage career, but it looks like they're going to run with him as the true centre-half forward for 2020, and that just gives him some consistency in where he's going to line up each and every week, learning his craft. He looks better each and every week for mine. He's kicked that.
He's finished that off, Jack Steele, and he gets North Hobart back into this game, a badly needed goal.
Yeah, he just read it, did the basics, didn't he? It was, I think it might have been Cunliffe, as you called it, Damo. A quick kick out of congestion, and he just had the drop on his opponent. Nice finish, keeps them in touch. 9-point game, a really important game. A goal, I would have thought, for North Hobart.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you want from your keys, to present like he did just there and then finish the job. Good stuff, Jack Steele. And as you say, margin back to 9. Back in the middle. Gardner wins down. Lovell is swung in a tackle by Caswell.
Looks like he has gone to him, has he? As we called for Caswell. I'm certainly closer to him.
So down off hands. Clifford crunched in a tackle. Young Jeff Fisher.
Bear Robertson coaching at ground level by the look of it.
Looks pretty animated. It's down off fingers of Allen, firing out a handball. It was Duggan. Muscling out of it was Burrows Cheng. Here he is now. Fires off to Clifford. Squeezes out a ball. It's a good one for Gordon. Where's the next kick? Kicks out into space looking for Carter to present. He gathers, shrugs off one tackle, shrugs off a second tackle, dishes it off to O'Neill, who fires back. Griggs now has a big boot on him, looks to use it. Good smother. And North Hobart escape. Norton looks inboard, finds Menzie, keen to get going, drops it off. It was Sandrick who bounced off the tackler. It went to come back to him, but unfortunately it didn't come back legally, and it is a Tigers ball through Marcus Davies. So 22 and change gone in this second term. He kicks onto the outer side, and the siren sounds on the first half of footy down here at Twin Ovals for 2020. There's still well and truly a contest. 4-4-28, the Kingborough Tigers, 3-1-19 North Hobart. How did you see that one?
Just a bit happening off
there
the ball.
There is too.
In the centre-half forward position for the Tigers that quarter. Don't think there's much in it. Damo, just a bit of push and shove. The umpires will try and get both teams off here.
Well, we know the two teams aren't particularly fond of each other.
Look, another, albeit scrappy at times, quarter, but it was competitive, wasn't it? Both teams giving their all. But the Tigers holding sway with a slender 9-point margin. I think the difference maybe between the two sides is just a little bit more composure. Just the Tigers, I think the effort from both teams in North Hobart, couldn't fault their endeavour, but probably just some of their delivery and decision making inside that forward 50 has let them down. A couple of times they've blazed away, and some Tigers have taken some really good defensive marks, but on occasions I just thought the Tigers looked a little bit smarter, a little bit neater with the footy inside their forward half day, mate.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that, Cam. Really lively first half from Kieran Lovell. He's been terrific.
Yeah, he has. He's won a lot of the footy, used it well. He always seems to have a bit of time, doesn't he? Because we've mentioned his lateral move and his sidestep. He's always on the move at a stoppage. He's dangerous. So, yeah, I thought he was really good. Griggs on occasions off half-back. Rice, too, with some really good defensive marking from the Tigers' perspective. Davies had his moments, didn't he? Been a pretty good battle in the ruck between Allen and Gardner. But
I thought Drew was terrific.
Drew, sorry, yeah, I thought he was terrific. Yeah, that's what I meant, sorry, with some of those defensive marks. And North Hobart still looks like he's trying to work his way into the game, which is some good signs for him. Still think there's a bit of upside for the Demons going to this. I really like their half-back line. I've mentioned that on a few occasions, but I like some of the decision-making of Walker up onto the wing. Pepin started to get more of the footy, which is good for him, off half-back. But a bit of an arm wrestle, but at the moment the Tigers hold sway by just the 9 points.
They do indeed. 4-4-28, the Kingborough Tigers, 3-1-19 at the half. We'll be back with the second half. Stay with us. Yeah. Well, good, Simon. We on. So back for the second half, Brownie. 4-4-28, 3-1-19 is the scoreline. What do we expect from second half, and what would have been the key talking points in the rooms at half time?
I think both teams, you couldn't fault the endeavour and the effort. I thought both half-back lines were probably on top. Tigers probably a little bit cleaner through the midfield. As we mentioned, going into the break, just some of that ball use. But North Hobart, they'd be looking to try and get some greater connection with their midfield and their forward half.
And we are underway for the second half as Allen and Gardner lock horns once more. Caswell off the deck, doesn't get too far with it. It's going to be a free kick the way of the Tigers. It's Lockie Godomski. We haven't called his name a heck of a lot, but that is a nice kick. On the outer side. Picking up Blake McCulloch. Steele tries to convince the umpire it should be his ball, as it's steered into the arms of the big man Gardner.
Ooh.
He drops it into the middle to Drew, who was prolific in the first half. Gets moving, long, deep kick, punched away by McCulloch convincingly, comes back courtesy of Watt. It was Tyler Carter.
Yeah, it's just untidy on that occasion.
He caught one high there, Carter. I reckon he's had a big pre-season. Pokes it into the pocket, just out of play. Boundary umpire says off hands, so they'll get the forward entry.
Just check the goal kick as well. We've got a bit of a lull here too for North Hobart. Hardy, Steele and Cunliffe. And for North Hobart, 2 to Graham, 1 to Carter, and 1 to O'Neill.
As it comes in again, the ruckman jostle for it. It was around the neck of Carter, but he got his kick away anyway and manufactures an unlikely goal. Just took it out of the ruck and swung it on the boot and gets it through the middle of the big sticks.
Well, that wasn't unlike Hardy's in the second quarter. That's a body blow for North Hobart. Goals a premium here today, particularly early on in the quarter, and it gets it out to that 15-point margin again. North Hobart looking to respond here. But, good goal, doing his job, Carter. Becomes the second multiple goal scorer for the Tigers today.
Well, they've seen the two likely avenues, don't they? Carter and Graham up there, with Reardon deployed off half back. Back in the middle again. Hamish Allen down for the opposing ruck. Lovell tackle without it. The ball keeps on moving. Norton has it blocked. Clifford fires out a handball. It was a really nice one to Lovell. They're away now, the Tigers. It's with Graham. He drops back for Dygan. Dygan deep entry, looking in the direction of Tyler Carter. Coming across was Sam Collins, did really well.
There's a nice entry on that occasion from Dygan. But as you called it, Damo, really nice defensive spoil from Collins.
That's the strength of Sam Collins, isn't it? Reading
No
those ones. Ball comes out from full back off Michael Fisher's boot. Gardner takes the mark and runs away. The big man just the wrong side of the upright.
He could have made him pay. Just didn't think he's balanced in the kick out on that occasion. Danger signs here. The Tigers are pressing. As McCulloch has got a walk up, who plays on the outer side.
Now with Kilpatrick, a driving ball. There's a whistle. It's going to come back. Bailey Walker won't be too happy because he took a good grab on centre wing. But it's going to have to
I'm not sure about that. It penalises the team. From a Tigers perspective, they can get all their numbers back behind the footy, although Joe Sandrick's been out in the wing.
Now it's going back out
they've decided to split the difference and go back.
Confusion reigns supreme. Anyway, it's with the D's who poke it out now with Patrick Walker. So Patrick Walker, a nice user by foot. Where is this ball headed? He sends it high and long. Steele flies. A pack formed around him. Went to ground level. Charlton squeezes out a handball now with McCulloch. He steers towards 50. Good grab. Steele.
Yeah, that was terrific. He launched himself on that occasion in the first contest, but then bounced back up and gave another presence. He just turned his back on the play there, though, now. I reckon this is right on his distance, Damo, so it might be one of those ones where they pull the kick and just lob it about 15 metres out, although he is going back.
They need the goal, Brownie. It's going to be all of 55 as he sets sail long and strong and high. And Hardy!
Well, he was the most likely as the kick came in, didn't it? It sat up in the air. Now, what's happened here? It's a 50-metre penalty against the Tigers because one of the players was pushed over in the contest, which will put Nathan Hardy on the goal line. Well done from Nathan Hardy, a late inclusion, so he's doing his job. 2 goals, the first multiple goal kicker for North Hobart today. I think Jeff Fisher might have got the 50-metre penalty on that occasion for North Hobart. But once again, well done to Jake Steele. You called it, Damo. He launched himself for that first inside 50 and then bounced back up. He's just looking more and more comfortable the more time he spends in the forward half for mine. In Jake Steele.
Yeah, no, it was really good because he flew for the first one, then recovered and went again. Good signs for the Demons. They needed that goal as we're back in the middle. Cunliffe off the ground. Not sure it's the high percentage play. Godomski.
It's good.
Shows a clean set of heels. Pokey kick over the top by Duggan. Asks a bit of Gordon. He's up to it. He played on and now he's in trouble. Gets an unconvincing handball out. Over the top for Godomski. Handball's off for Burrows Cheng. Claimed a tackle. Got his ball away. Now with Norton and McCulloch. Squeeze out to Sandrick. Did well. Found Norton of the Baxter variety.
Probably not as prolific as he was in the first half last week for North Hobart Sandrick. In fact, he had a really solid 4-quarter game. So some upside for him in the second half. But Bear Robertson and the North Hobart coaching staff would be really happy with the last 2 or 3 minutes for North Hobart and their tackling pressure.
McCulloch now inside 50. Long kick. Hamish Allen sets himself. Good grab.
This is where he's just got to move it quickly. Try and find someone inside forward 50.
Scott Charlton with the quick handball. Ignores that.
McCulloch
on the other side. He goes to McCulloch. He takes a couple of metres. Steers it towards Steele. Oh, 2 hands to it but couldn't complete the grab. It'll find its way out deep in that pocket, or does it? It does. It will be thrown in.
Probably the best period of the game for North Hobart, the last 3 or 4 minutes. They're pressing hard here.
So the ball to be thrown in, deep forward 50. North Hobart having a nice little period. As Hardy taps down, there's a whistle. It's going to go the way of the D's. Not sure the carry on. There's a bit of back and forth.
Yeah, so it's a free kick off the ball. It looks like it's going to Caswell, is it? Who's had the job on... is it Caswell? Difficult to tell from there.
I think it might be Baxter Norton.
Yeah, it was a neat kick normally, the left footer, so you'd back him in from here.
So Norton to put another one on the board and really keep the D's in this. He fires them up.
Yeah, well, we mentioned they were pressing hard in the last 5 minutes and they've got their reward with the last 2 goals. And you've got to keep your discipline in this game, and that's a gimme there, wasn't it, for North Hobart? Trent Bormala would be filthy with that in the coach's box from the Tigers.
Just 5 points the margin now. Cam, we saw last week North Hobart got a surge on and put a few on the board. They've kicked too quick here. It'll look good when they get their game going. So 5 points, 5-6-36 plays, 5-1-31. Who will get the centre clearance? There's Norton, the most recent goal kicker. Charlton tries to shrug off a couple. The ball sprays out. Lovell eyes it off. The ball gets by him. Norton again squeezes out a kick. Leading the foot race out there was Donnelly.
Well done.
Good hands, slick hands. Almost for Davies. Charlton came in. Off from Norton now. He looks for Sandrick. Just missed him with hands. And he catches Clifford just a bit high. So Clifford, he has Sorty if he chooses, and he does. Thought his way through that one. Sorty keeps it moving. Finds Davies. He's a real general of this Tigers outfit. So Davies goes long. It's going to take a good grab from here. There's a couple of Tigers sandwiched in a lot of Demons. Williams tries to help it down the line, and Menzies climbs on top to make sure they hold it up.
Clifford with some touches in the last minute or so. Always been a really smart on baller.
So Gardner flicks it out the back. Lovell squeezes it inside 50. Defensive mark almost for Collins. He looks to butter up. Sprays out his hands. Graham now, the crafty Graham. Does the business? No, he doesn't. It was touched.
Still a neat kick. Wasn't touched off the boot. And North Hobart have gone on the outer side most of the time on these kick-outs, but they've got Cunliffe working hard. Good kick on that occasion from McCulloch. He's got Collins working too.
So Collins steers towards Hardy. Couldn't quite complete the grab. The ball's still alive. No, it wasn't, says the umpire. Throw it in right in front of the interchange benches here at Twin Ovals. So 5-7-37 plays, 5-1-31. This game's well and truly up for grabs. Campbell and Cunliffe wrestle for it. Campbell now climbs onto the footy. And we'll go again. So it's one goal the difference. Down off the hands of Allen. Breezing on through was Davies. Terrific stuff. Now kicks long. Looking for Graham.
It's a free kick.
And it's going to go to Graham. High contact, I think.
Yeah, maybe against Sam Collins. He's pleading his case with the umpire. He's going to go around the corner here. Is he? No, I thought he was going to run around and try and snap this.
They do.
That's smart from North Hobart, though. They're guarding off that. But he's shaping up like he's going to kick it across his body, Damo.
He is indeed. I still think he might.
It's a good play from Marcus Davies, though, wasn't it?
Brilliant.
From memory. He was the man on the move.
So Graham comes around, snaps home. That's his third of the day, and an important goal for Kingborough. They open up that 2-goal buffer again.
Yeah, well, he becomes the leading goal scorer on the ground with 3. And it was a good response there from the Tigers because North Hobart had pressed hard in the first 10 or so minutes of this third quarter and had been on top. And as we mentioned, Marcus Davies just on the move in a deep kick, put the defence under pressure. And
they're worried about Graham when the ball gets in there.
No doubt.
And for good reason.
I just reckon he's a very underrated player. We've seen he's made the TSL Team of the Year previously and a dangerous forward.
So down from Allen, Caswell eyes it off. He's done a pretty good job in negating Lovell. Squeezes out a kick, fisted on by Watt. Looking for Dygan, breezes by him. Good pick up by Kilpatrick now. He's got to do something with it. Umpire says, I'll have it. So the ball to be thrown up again. Down from Tyler Carter. Here's Campbell.
Well, that's
try
holding
to
the
use
ball.
his wheel.
That's just poor umpiring.
Tackle not rewarded. O'Neill puts the kick inside 50, punched away by Collins. They've got a few numbers there, North Hobart, but the boundary line beats all.
You don't like to be critical of the umpires, but on the occasion the Tigers player took him on and he was held up in the tackle, didn't dispose of it correctly, play on the call.
So in it comes, thrown in, Alan jostling with Carter. He gets his kick away. O'Neill almost over the top of him was Kilpatrick with a good fist.
He's an unobtrusive player, Kilpatrick, isn't he? But he does his role each and every week. He's got some versatility in his game, just makes good decisions. Really reliable player.
So down from Allen. Just sock it out of there. Pretty good stuff in the end. It was Caswell who found Gus Norton. His kick, unfortunately for the Demons, lands in the arms of Sordy.
He's been okay.
Sordy switches it up to Duggan. Shakes off Lee. It was good stuff. Duggan now finds Marcus Davies, who's always eager to get moving. Kicks long in the Gardner direction. He flies through his fingers. Out the back is Griggs. Slips as he goes to kick it. His kick in the end lands in the arms of Kilpatrick, who steadies the ship. Gets a kick off to Caswell. Finds out a handball. Gus Norton eyeing it off. Good tackle applied from Cunliffe on Campbell. Be yet another stoppage.
He caught it before Nathan Duggan. Really nice play, wasn't it? Just composed and off the back half there on the footy.
Showed real poise, didn't he? As it's thrown up again. Allen probably having the lion's share of the ruck, as it's good stuff from Pepin in there. Ends up off the boot of Jeffrey Fisher, steers it towards Reeves, who watches it over the boundary line. So the Bev show to throw it in.
Be happy last night.
He would. Big Dogs man like yourself.
They were good last night, the Dogs.
But in it comes. Shallow throw. Come on, Bev show. Get in the gym.
Yep.
It's now with Sordy. He's claimed from both sides. The red and blue elevator doors closed around him. But he's got a free kick. Steers a ball just towards Duggan, who dropped it as it went over the boundary line. Nearly fooled the umpire. So 6-7-43, 5-1-31. Last goal coming through Luke Graham, an important one. Coming through was Lovell, couldn't get the footy. In the end, fortuitously lands in his arms. Good fist applied from Kilpatrick, cutting off a ball meant for Duggan.
Sneaks up on you, we've been saying that the whole game, but 17-minute mark of the third quarter. So an important 5 or so minutes for both teams. Trent Bormiller coming down to coach from the boundary line for these last few minutes of the third quarter.
So in it comes. Allen takes it straight out of the ruck. Found himself some space. Good fist from Godomski. Brings it to the floor. Jeff Fisher now looks to use his wheels. Steadies. Nice kick finds Menzie. Menzie looking for Steele. Offers a lead. The kick doesn't honour it. Steele butters up. Gets the hands out. Looking for Baxter Norton. He's got what to contend with. And they see it over.
He just found some space in Jai Menzie, but he might have been quite balanced then. Instinctive to try and play on because Steele had some space, but the kick just landed short. Love to see him a little bit closer to goal, Jai Menzie. He's got some real smart forward craft.
Jake Steele straight out of the ruck. He's swinging it back. He's finished it. Really good goal, Jake Steele.
Well, we had a perfect view, and as soon as it come off his boot, it always looked like it was going to swing from right to left, and that's exactly what it did. I think he's been terrific today. His second goal for North Hobart.
He's been good. That was really clever. He took it straight out of the ruck, threw it on the boot, and yeah, it just swung back to perfection.
We've seen that a few times, haven't we, today? Hardy got one out of the ruck. Carter Something out of nothing there from Steele. So some opportunistic goals, which you normally might see from small forwards, but the big men with the forward craft. Great to see.
Back to just 1 goal the difference. Down from Steele. They've put him in the ruck now. Coming through is Fisher. He couldn't gather. Now he goes in to try and burrow away out of the stoppage.
It just looks like it's going to be a tight game, doesn't it, Damo? That we're going to be talking about half an hour's time about a really tight finish. Now there's a free kick off the ball against Marcus Davies, where I think he's just got to be better than that as a leader of the footy club.
So Jeff Fisher, the kick was just over the head of Patrick Walker rather, as it comes out the back. Here is Walker. Walker now, stylish kick at goal is a beauty. Finished off and scores a level here at Twin Ovals.
Well, that's come on the back of a undisciplined free kick from Marcus Davies. Jeff Fisher, I think twice he's drawn some free kicks, but a really neat finish from Patrick Walker. Doesn't venture too far up in the forward half, but he just timed his run and always had really neat skills and a good decision maker, and they've pushed him forward, and it's all level.
Unbelievable stuff.
Been pretty solid.
They've given
Patrick
themselves a real good chance with their accuracy, Cam. 7 goals won today, the D's. Back in the middle again, Steele in the ruck now. Looking out there for Cunliffe. Burrows Cheng extracts it, drives it long, off the chest of Tyler Carter. He didn't know it was coming. Now he's got the footy. Shakes off the tackle, gets his hands out. O'Neill now with an opportunity. Low-flying bullet into the arms of Collins. He gets it out, unfortunately, out on the full. So it'll be a Sam Rice ball. Tigers looking for a goal.
Yeah, they need one. North Hobart have been on top.
Well, yeah, I said before, they had this burst last week, and they've had a burst in this term, North Hobart. When they get it right, they look pretty irresistible.
It's going to be a great goal if you can kick it from there. Sammy Rice.
So Sam Rice, he is having a look at the sticks. It's not a... No, never really looked like it. I was trying to make a case for it, but it was always hanging out right. In the end, I think it was out on the full.
Pevin wants to go lateral, but he'll have to be forced down the line.
And that's where he heads. Hardy flies. Off hands, it was gathered by Walker, or Menzie rather. And he squeezes out a kick. Ben Donnelly with the footy. Back for Reardon.
He went to go to Marcus Davies, but he's gone back the other way.
So Duggan, long ball high, flying for it was Steele. Over the top was Hardy. Brings it to ground. Drew has come out of the game a little bit in this quarter. Swung in a tackle. Good tackle pipe by young Jai Menzie. So scores are level as we're deep into this third quarter, setting up for somewhat of a grandstand finish. It's down from Steele, comes out the side. Kick from Fisher. Reardon tracks it down. He's got support there. Squeezed out a handball. Firing out from the side was Donnelly. Here's Reardon again now. Just spirals it forward. A bouncing ball. Looking for Campbell. Fist away from him by Collins. They've collided in a heavy meeting of bodies in the middle. It was Menzie and Campbell, both just had eyes for the footy. Play continues to unfold. It's with Lovell now. He looks at a vacant goal square and has a good look at the sticks. In fact, a brilliant look at the sticks. What a goal, Kieran Lovell.
Yeah, that's what he can do. He's always been able to kick a goal, hasn't he? Smart play from Sam Dygan. He's got great footy IQ. Always makes good decisions, and he knew when he took the mark that he had a class player in Kieran Lovell running past. And just when you thought the Demons were getting on top, the Tigers respond. This has been the best quarter of the game, no doubt about that, Damo. It's opened up a little bit. Not sure we have a lot of time left in the third quarter.
No, it sprung to life in a big way in this quarter. Back in the middle, Kieran Lovell actually has been pretty quiet this term, but that goal was an absolute beauty as Caswell gathers for the Demons. Fires off for Cunliffe. His handball is misdirected. Goes to Burrows Cheng. Godomsky tried to run on through, lost the footy. And right in the bullseye, we'll have another ball up. Around the grounds, Glenorchy leading Lauderdale by 10 points. At three-quarter time as Clifford tries to find some space, but he's got Jeff Fisher holding him up.
So Tigers have just dropped one off behind the footy. North Hobart with the extra midfielder in this contest.
Clifford gathers, goes back for Lovell. Spiral, long ball. And Kilpatrick does well. Comes across and takes the relieving grab.
See, that's what he does. Well played.
Finds Charlton. Pops it over the top for Lee. Late inclusion today. He'll find Gus Norton, who similarly was a late inclusion, and guess what? They kick it to another late inclusion in Hardy.
I reckon on that occasion he had to go longer. Probably a low percentage kick down the line. Get it inside your forward 50, give your forwards a chance.
Big news out of the north of the state, Brownie. Launceston 6.9.45, lead North Launceston 4.4.28.
Yeah.
As it's Caswell gathering and powering it inside forward 50 now. Off the fingertips of Menzies, butters up, fires out a handball. Gus Norton gets a kick away.
It's better. Yeah, I thought Lonnie were a good show today, Damo. I haven't beaten them for a long time, but I thought if ever, just looking through both teams, and some big outs really for Launceston, weren't they? They've got some real depth at the moment. And today might have been the time to get North Lonnie.
As it comes in again. Swinging a fist was Davies. Paddy Walker got a kick away. But there's a
He's going to go to North Hobart by the look of it.
It is going to be a North Hobart ball. It's going to be the big man Hardy, and the siren cannot be far away, I'd suggest.
Oh, he's been a bonus. The late inclusion. Nathan Hardy lining up for goal number 3.
So to square it up in the dying embers of the third quarter.
Yeah, almost could be the last kick of the quarter, Damo.
So Hardy hits his kick away, sends it sailing, watches it through. Big time goal right as the siren sounds on three-quarter time. Scores are level.
8-1-49 to the Tigers, 7-7-49. Late goal there to Nathan Hardy. He's got 3. Jake Steele with 2. And Cunliffe, Norton and Walker with singles for the Ds in an entertaining quarter of footy. And for the Tigers, Graham has 3, Carter 2, O'Neill and Lovell. But they're up and about at the moment, the Tigers, just as they're coming in, their body language. Lots of affirmation for each other as they're coming in. The Tigers, they'd be disappointed, I would have thought, that quarter. North Hobart, certainly. Early on in that third quarter, they just lifted their work rate and they were able to get some of that reward on the scoreboard. From Tigers and the Trent Bournemouth's perspective, they'd just be disappointed with some ill-disciplined acts, a couple of free kicks. Jeff Fisher got under the skin a little bit, didn't he, of the Tigers players. And in a relatively low-scoring game, albeit we've got reduced quarters in terms of duration, we know that. But the Tigers probably let them get back into this game, and it shapes as a big last quarter. I don't know how you see it, Damo, with the Tigers. Obviously, a big wait to get to this point, isn't it, for their first game of the season, North Hobart, perhaps with the benefit of playing last week.
Yeah, well, I thought North Hobart were absolutely terrific in that term. Have sprung life into this contest. Up until that point, I largely thought the game belonged to Kingborough, and they were, running the tempo pretty much and had decent control of things. But certainly in that quarter, North Hobart got a run on, and they look really hard to stop when they do get a run on.
They did, and I just thought they made better decisions with the footy on that in that quarter. It was a really nice goal from Patrick Walker. Of course, his father, Dad, a premiership player with North Hobart, Warren, but they'd be really pleased going in at three-quarter time. The Tigers have just got to respond. We've mentioned Steele, thought he was really good again in that quarter. Loved his presence in the air and his ability to launch at the footy. Been some good ruck duels in this quarter. But it's all shaped up for a really exciting finish.
It is indeed. 3 close games in the TSL. As I said, Launceston 6-9-45 at three-quarter time. Right here it's 6-9-45 to 4-4-28 up north at Windsor Park. Glenorchy 8-7-55 over Lauderdale 6-9-45, and here we are all square. 7-7-49 plays 8-1-49. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us. So back for the last quarter, and we are all set for a grandstand finish. 49 apiece, the Kingborough Tigers and North Hobart. Twin ovals, TSL footy. What's your prediction, Cam Brown?
Gee, I think it's going to go right down to the wire. I think it might just go the D's in a close one. I like the way they finished over the top of the Tigers in that quarter.
And up we go. Straight out of the middle, extracting it was Michael Fisher, driving long and strong in the Menzies direction. Paddy Walker off hands. Menzies Sockers looking for Jeff Fisher. Fires back a handball. Misses its target. Tigers will get it out of defensive 50 via Lovell. Piercing kick onto the far side. Wrestle for it out there. It's gathered by Sam Collins. He goes back for McCulloch, who shakes off the would-be tackler.
Good kick.
Good kick down the line, as you say, Cam. Off from Cunliffe. It's a measured ball out on the outer side. I think it was...
I think it was Pepper on that occasion.
Yeah. It was just a little too risky in the end. It went out on the full. Long and strong. It comes off the boot of Lovell. They all set themselves. The big ruckman in the contest bring it to ground. And they gain territory, the Tigers.
Just trying to think, Dame. I don't think North Hobart have been in front for the whole game. I'm pretty sure from memory Tigers might have had a couple of behinds. And then I think they kicked the first goal.
I think you're right, Cam. So they weave their way out of traffic, courtesy of Cunliffe. His long kick gets valuable territory back the other way. Chilly afternoon down here at Twin Ovals.
Not wrong. Just thinking of the same thing.
Our cameraman Simon has plenty of layers on, I can see. He's got the gloves going. I wish I thought of something similar. I'm telling you right now. It's Allen, who does really well. Spins around, kick inside forward 50. Gathering was Drew. Now he's got a problem. And a big problem indeed.
Wow. Guess who?
Hardy.
He had McCulloch working for him inside the forward 50, but he'll be backing himself here.
He's kicked two already, hasn't he?
Three.
Jeez, sold him short. Good inclusion into this North Hobart setup, provided a target for them.
He's a bigger body, isn't he? And, you throw Sandrick as a bigger body in the midfield, and it just gives some of the younger players a bit of confidence when you see your teammates with a bit of size. I reckon he's hugged that to the near side.
He has indeed. A minor score, albeit a lead. So from full back, the Tigers move it. Long ball cut off by Bailey Walker. Now with Davey, squeezes out his kick. McCulloch standing in the way. Gets his handball out to Bailey Walker. Moves it on quickly to Cunliffe. Now it's with Menzies. Gets by one. Was he tripped? Fires out a handball. Gus Norton steering towards goal. Just the wrong side.
I tell you what, the crowd thought it was a trip. He's a player to watch in the last quarter, I reckon, John Menzies. Kicked some late goals last week.
He's got some tricks, Cam. We almost saw that there. The way he just shaped inside and shook off the tackle as it comes long. There's a whistle.
Yeah, free kick.
It's going the way of the Demons. And it's going to be Sandrick. Very handy footballer.
It's going to go long.
He is going long and high, allowing for a run and a jump from Steele. Comes out the back to him fortuitously. His kick. Oh, it wasn't meant for the goals, but coming through was Paddy Walker to finish off, and the D's are on a run here.
Yeah, he's got good footy IQ, Patrick Walker. And he just knew what was happening now. And as we mentioned, he certainly in the last 2 or 3 years of his footy, he hasn't played a lot in the forward half, but he's looked really lively today since being swung there. Good coaching move. We saw him start up on the wing, but that's his second goal. He's also had good balance, always keeps his feet. And multiple goal kicker now for the D's.
So the North Hobart Demons lead at 9:3:57 to 7:7:49. 4 minutes and change into this last quarter, and it's been all the Demons thus far in this term. So we go again, down from Allen. Norton had it sharked away from him. Clifford inside forward 50 for the Tigers. At ground level is Cooper Sorty. He's bustled into by Collins. Good tackle.
Yeah, so from a Tigers perspective now, really, the last 30 minutes or so of this game, North Hobart have really gone on top, so they need to get rolling here and respond.
So Gardner out the side. Shelton squeezes out his kick. Reardon cuts it off.
Yeah, he likes to go long.
And that is exactly what he is doing. He allows for Carter to run and jump. It just bounced off his chest, Carter. Did he play for a free kick? It certainly looked like it. As the kick comes out again. And Gardner, the wall in the way.
It's been a good battle in the ruck.
Pokey little ball has worked out nicely. Will Campbell.
It's just good to see him back playing footy, and he's worked pretty hard today. He had that big crunch in the middle, was it, with Jai Menzies, I think, from memory in that third quarter.
That passage ending with a terrific Lovell goal.
I mean, the upside of it is, from the Tigers' perspective, they just haven't had the game on their terms now for quite some time. So if they can control it here, they're close enough, only 8 points behind.
So Will Campbell missed a lot of footy, unfortunately misses that goal.
Yeah, that's a disappointing finish. Going to raffle it from the kick out here. Sam Collins is on if they want to go short.
So 7 points the margin. It's Baxter Norton from full back. Little ball for Sandrick. A few long sleeves in the setup of North Hobart. A little one over the top to Collins. Not a bad option on a day like today. Hugging the boundary line. This kick looking for Walker. It was a good grab taken by Donnelly. So he's got a couple offering on over the top, but they're going to go long again. Carter the option. He stays alive. Coming in there with Sandrick. Good tackle applied by him. The ball sprays out. Tyler Carter gets his kick away. It's towards goal, but punched over by Bailey Walker. Another minor score.
Sorry, Damo, you just sense the Tigers have lifted their rating. They sense the urgency of this one. It's getting quite dark here now at the Twins. Oh,
the ball for Sandrick. Dropped one he definitely should have taken. Now Campbell gets a reprieve. He'll have a look at the sticks and again just tugs it to the right. A minor score. They're cutting it, but only by single figures.
Yeah, well, 17 scoring shots to 12 at a 5-point margin.
Oh. So out of D50 they head. Punched over the top by Tigers through Cooper Sorty. So 52 plays 57. North Hobart have trailed all day. Pounced to take a lead in this quarter. What do Tigers have in response? Comes in again. Gardner just drops it down. Cut off by Cunliffe for a second. He catches Lovell high. He'll get a free kick. They exchange a few words.
Allen getting back in the hole.
He might be called on here as Lovell drives it that direction, and geez, well forecast Cam Brown as Allen drops it off to find McCulloch. He looks out on the outer side for Pepin, loses it. Gordon does really well, screws back the kick. Flying was Graham. Clever stuff, brings it down. Carter keeps his feet around a couple. Carter, he's still got it. It would have been some sort of goal.
Thought he was Robert Murphy there for 1 second. Balked a couple of times, but couldn't quite pull it off.
Robert Murphy. Lenny Hayes used to like the little step as well, didn't he? As the ball steered out from Yates. Good fly from Steele. Couldn't complete the transaction. Picking up was Bailey Walker. Over for Cunliffe now. Here's Reeves over the top if he wants him. Finds him there. Reeves will dish it back for Cunliffe. Now Cunliffe tried to just get the ball inside forward 50. Really good defensive stuff from Godomski.
Gee, I've enjoyed this, particularly the second half. Now, Jake Steele, we saw him launch at the footy once again, but I think he hit the turf pretty hard, winded himself in the hands of the trainers. He's waved them off. Looks like he's okay, but no, they're going to bring him off, maybe just to check him out.
And it comes again, down off hands of Hardy. In traffic, Lovell was terrific. Got his kick away. Oh, it's a bit stiff, I reckon. Holding the ball. He did get the kick away, Cam.
Well, Nathan Hardy. Nice
Nearly
square
commentary
up.
mockers as he gets it to Charlton.
Well
a
done.
little dabbing kick is nice for Jeff Fisher.
I just love that rather than blaze away, because the Tigers had numbers back.
So
Yeah,
he just
well done again.
sculpts a kick,
Oh.
looking for Lee. Good punch provided from Drew. A wrestle for it at ground level. Now the Tigers look to move. It was from Burrows Cheng. He finds Drew. He's a penetrating kick. Goes long and finds Tyler Carter.
Tigers have got numbers back. Cooper Sorty.
He
He's in the
drives
van
long,
here.
looking for Cooper Sorty, who's all on his own. Cam Brown, you forecast it to perfection. Cooper Sorty to line up. and put him
Well, it
back
was
in
smart
front.
ball movement from the Tigers to get him in there. He worked hard into that space. Best game I've seen him play for quite some time, Cooper Sorty. We know he's played at underage level before for the Devils. He's kicked a goal there. Put the Tigers back in front. So it's been a really good response. It's almost like the Walker goal clicked them into gear a little bit, the Tigers. And they lifted their intensity, realised the urgency of this game, and they've responded. And as we forecast, Damo, we thought it was going to be a tight finish. I'm pretty sure we're going to get that. Thought it was the right option for North Hobart, but maybe Lee just needed to present up at that short pass on the North Hobart forward 50, and the Tigers just with the turnover.
So up it goes. Hardy and Gardner in the ruck as Tigers reclaim the lead and seem to be finding a bit more of their footy again, as it's with Griggs. He drives it inside forward 50. Sorty there again over his head. Brought down by Williams. Firing out a handball to the side, looking for Graham. He's caught high.
Yeah, he
First
was.
glance.
Well, the Tigers, the last 5 or so minutes, have controlled the tempo. They've had the footy in their hands. Now, North Hobart with an extra man back here. It's 2-on-1 on Sorty in the goal square.
So steers it that way. Off hands. Sorty! Fantastic from the big man. Just stayed alive in the contest. Took it off hands and powers through his second in as many minutes.
Yeah, well, Trent Bormel has always had a really high opinion of Cooper Sorty. I know he's a confidence player, and the way he coaches, I'm sure he would have given him that backing as a coach, which is all you want as a player. And he's been one of those guys who's been swung back forward, but today he's had the whole game playing in that forward half, and he's looked dangerous, hasn't he, right from the word go. The last 2 goals now for the Tigers.
2 goals from Cooper Sorty have swung it back the home side's way. It's North Hobart. Take it out of the centre, courtesy of Sandrick. Good hands from Jai Menzies, strong hands. Takes on the lead. He'll look long now. Driving ball out to the left pocket, looking for Fisher. It was punched away by Duggan.
Well, if this game is true to form, North Hobart will kick the next goal and respond. 7-point lead from the Tigers.
There's certainly been a rhythm to it, you're right, Cam. So in it comes again, off Gardner's hands. Breezing through was Godomski. That was lovely stuff. Finds Griggs off the outside of his boot. He's tried to send it to us up here, Cam.
Well, he wasn't keen to use the other side of his body, that's for sure.
So Sam Collins now.
So he's got Jaden Charlton. He'll go to him now.
Spears the ball in to Charlton. Crowded forward 50. Has to assess his options.
So he's got
He
Pepin.
powers high.
He could fly.
Flying was Allen. He was pushed out of it. It was just dabbed down, a dangerous little defensive effort, though.
It was, I agree with you. It almost palmed down in a dangerous spot for some of the North Hobart small forwards to swoop on.
It was Clifford, I think, that did it. Very lucky to escape.
Now, Damo, we've seen it on a few occasions, just some snaps out of nowhere in these situations today in this game.
Comes in again. There's a whistle. It's going to be a North Hobart ball.
It's going to be a free kick to Baxter Norton, and I'd back him in. He's a neat kick. The left footer returning to the club this year. Seen him play a lot for the Devils, haven't we, over the journey? It becomes a very important kick, the 15-minute mark of the last quarter.
So Baxter Norton to line up and give North Hobart real life. He finishes off and the momentum swings once more, Cam Brown.
Well, we've got exactly what we wanted, which was a close game. And at 1 point the difference, you just think it's just going to be a couple of moments here in the last 10 or so minutes which might get the winning team across the line, maybe a little bit of composure, steadiness with the footy. Tigers certainly on the scoring shots, 9-10 to 10-3. Now nearly in trouble there, Gus Norton, with the 6-on-6. They gave him a little bit of a licence there to come around the back of the square.
So bounce down, just 1 point in it. Hamish Allen won the tap but lost the footy as Gardner sends it forward for the Tigers. Getting a handball out was Charlton, and they hold it up right on the paint of 50.
You've got to be disappointed though from a Tigers perspective. They've, from a discipline point of view, they've given away a few free kicks like that.
Ball comes out the way of the Demons. Fortuitously bounces into the arms of Gus Norton. He finds Michael Fisher, assesses his options, didn't have a heap on that he liked, so nearly bounced it towards Gull. Donnelly gathers. Has he just kept that in? No.
I thought he did it really well, but kick just carried now. Sandrick's got Walker free if he wants to go short, but he's going to go long.
He drives a long booming boot. Plenty of Demons there. Off hands and a soccer. I think it was Troy Cunliffe. Clever stuff from Troy Cunliffe. We saw him get a crumb goal at the other end earlier on in the game, and that's another beauty. And the Demons regather the lead.
Yeah, well done to Jack Sandrick there. As I said, he could have gone short, but he elected to go long, put it in a dangerous position, and then just off hands. Can't leave it once again. We've had a few lead changes in this last quarter. North Hobart back in front. 18-minute mark of the last quarter. It's opened up a bit, hasn't it? 20 goals for the game after a fairly slow start in terms of goal scoring in this game.
So Allen, a commanding hit out. Socket off by Caswell. He's done well to really negate Lovell's influence as it's fired out from Gordon. Now with Clifford. They'll have a run at things here. It's O'Neill. He steers it centrally inside forward 50. The run and jump of Carter over his head. Good stuff by Collins. Found space when there was none. Steering it out of D50 was Kilpatrick. Reardon tries a miraculous. He just keeps it in. The outside of his boot just powered long into that pocket. Keeps it in. It's a Tigers ball through Bilson, who's been quiet.
I'm not sure he's going to have to back himself in here.
So Bilson hugging the boundary. Sends his kick on the way, was always off to the left and finished that way. So another behind for the Tigers.
Plays a bit of cricket too, first grade cricketer for University, Jack Bilson, and he returned. University student in Victoria. We've seen him play at underage level with the Tigers as well, but with COVID, came back to the state.
So Baxter Norton, a long ball out of defence. Allen brings it down. Williams with hands. They work it out. Charlton over the top. Menzie now. Jinks inside. Around a couple. Fires out a handball. Kick from Fisher. Looking for Hardy. Couldn't quite complete the grab. Shields it for a teammate. Gathers himself in the end. Fires it out. Gordon back the other way for the Tigers. Now with Gardner. He gets it off for Clifford. Over for Donnelly. Claimed in a McCulloch tackle. Squeezes out the side. Steele there providing support, as is Norton. Tackling now. Out the side looking for Cunliffe. Just burrowing in. There's a Tiger, and I think it was Campbell. He's been caught a couple of times today, and
he's going to pay too high here. So the D's give him an opportunity. Another inside 50.
So it's Jaden Charlton. Came back to the club after a stint.
It's been busy.
Hobart. He has been busy. Finds McCulloch. So we're 20 minutes deep into this final quarter, Cam. A goal from North Hobart will make things very tricky for the Tigers. It comes long. Hardy!
He's been terrific. He's just done the basics well, hasn't he? He's provided a presence. He's worked his way to the front on a couple of occasions. Even in his last contest, he didn't panic. In the centre half forward there, just had a big body. Didn't let the ball get free. Important thing here for North Hobart is they've been able to milk a minute or so off the clock.
He's taking his 30, that's for sure, isn't he?
So you almost think if you can kick this, it's going to make it very hard for the Tigers.
So Nathan Hardy, late inclusion, he's been terrific. Steers it towards a pack right near the goal line. Hamish Allen! The big man comes up big. Floats across and takes a terrific grab. And a goal here, Cam.
Well, that's what you do, is you get him to take his full 30 seconds off the clock, and maybe that's what the North Hobart players are saying to him. But he's a developing player, isn't he? The more he plays, the more comfortable he gets at the level.
So Hamish Allen, distance should not be a trouble. Off his boot.
Well done.
He kicks what could well be a sealer for North Hobart. They've trailed for most of the day, but they lead it now as we get into the dying embers of this round 2 clash.
Well, they've been able to find some different goal kickers, haven't they, in this game? I think they've had 5 multiple goal kickers in Hardy, Steele, Cunliffe, Norton and Walker, and Allen just then bobs up. A real bonus. It's good to see Ruckman pushing forward, isn't it, and providing a presence in that forward half. Well done again to Nathan Hardy with the mark.
They've also been pretty efficient inside forward 50.
They have. Particularly since half-time, Damo. That's the big improvement in their game.
So Clifford swings it out of the middle. Looking for Campbell. Punched away. North Hobart on top here. Charlton on the outer side finds Michael Fisher.
Back to the club this year. Pepin's looked a bit more comfortable today behind the footy. Won a fair bit of footy in contested mark. Here's Kilpatrick with time and space.
So it's out for Kilpatrick. He uses that space to find Menzie.
He's got to control the footy here in North Hobart. They can take some time off the clock. Yep, well done, Ty Menzie. I like this.
If they keep the footy, they shouldn't have any problems from here, North Hobart. Menzie long, looking for Hardy. Gets hands to it. At the fall was Campbell. Gets it out the side. Lovell now. Kicks down the wing. It's all North Hobart. Oh, Pepin spills one he definitely should have taken. Now off for Sandrick. Sandrick measured ball. Looking for Norton.
Brilliant kick, Jack Sandrick. Would have been easy to blaze away. But that's a real improvement for mine. North Hobart in the second half, their ball use inside forward 50, and
they've won it.
That's it.
It's just a matter of the margin now, Cam.
And Baxter Norton could top off a pretty nice day for him personally with 3 goals. He's got 2 at the moment.
So Baxter Norton.
It'll be a big celebration if he kicks it, Damo.
About 45. Sends it sailing well wide. Won't trouble the scorers. So the margin finishes at 10 points. North Hobart come from behind winners here at Twin Ovals in what was a sizzling second half, Cam.
The goal kickers for North Hobart, Nathan Hardy, the late inclusion with 3. Jake Steele liked his game with 2. Cunliffe 2. Baxter Norton 2. Paddy Walker 2. And Hamish Allen bobbing up there with a goal. And for the Tigers, Graham with 3, Carter 2, Sorty 2 in that last quarter. And it looked at some point when, maybe they were going to win this game, the Tigers, and then O'Neill and Lovell. So 10-point win for the Demons, and in particular the second half they just got on top. I reckon it got out to a 2.5 goal margin in the third quarter, Damo, and then early on in that third quarter, and then North Hobart just lifted their rating, didn't they? And they're able to get reward from their efforts, and they had some different options up forward, particularly in the second half. I thought they looked really lively and dangerous. The Tigers, first game of the year, so they lick their wounds and come back again next week, but they would have fancied their chances coming into this game. They'll be better for the run, but they'll learn from that experience. Full credit to North Hobart though. They were competitive last week, and this week they get the 4 points. The Tigers maybe just a couple of ill-disciplined free kicks come back to hurt you, don't they, in a 10-point game, Damo?
Costly moments, that's for sure. They got a run on, as we said a little earlier, they were efficient inside 50. And when they play their best footy, they look hard to stop. They could be a surprise packet, Cam. They could upset a few teams, I think.
I think the exciting thing, if you're a North Hobart supporter, and Ollie Divinito and Bear Robertson and the coaching staff, they're a young group, aren't they? But they seem to be galvanised. They've had some good inclusions with Norton and Sandrick and these sort of players back. Hardy was a real live wire for them today. The Fishers are back, so well, in particular Michael Fisher and Jeff Fisher are new to the club, so some excitement about them, and we've spoken about how the Devils players are going to be with them from the whole season. So often with youth brings energy and the ability to energise other players around you, so that's a great win for them. But the Tigers, they'll bounce back. They'll be disappointed with that because they seemingly had the game in their control early on in the third quarter. But North Hobart lifted. I thought in the last quarter, to their credit, the Tigers did respond. I thought Cooper Sorty was terrific. Had some really good moments in that last quarter. But when the game was up for grabs, North Hobart just wanted a little bit more, Damo.
They did indeed, and they record their first win for the season in round 2. 12-3-75. North Hobart defeats Kingborough 9-11-65. Hope you've enjoyed today's broadcast. See you next time. Bye for now.